Hi guys, it's Kiarko here, back with another speed build. Robin, you requested a gardening school, and to finish off school week, that's exactly what we're doing here. I will say I took a lot of creative liberties with this suggestion. I would describe this kind of as a gardening school slash like botany school slash like rare plant studies school. I don't know, it's like a lot of different things just having to do with plants in general. And I built this in Selvadorada, I think is the world name. So I kind of went with this really interesting style of school. I wanted it to be a place where it seems like a lot of rare plants would grow, like in the middle of this jungle. So that kind of gave me reasoning to build it here and have this like the idea that people would travel from very far away to come attend the school because only very specific types of like rare, really unique plants can grow in this like particular place in this particular climate. So that was the idea behind this. And it's a very interesting style of build. Like I've done styles like this before, I just don't usually do this kind of architecture, but I do like it, it's fun to do. So here I am just putting in random things from the debug menu from the Jungle Adventure pack because I wanted a lot of the architecture and like furniture pieces and plants to like match the world around it. So here I'm just like pulling things out, just trying to figure out, my general look, my color palette, stuff like that. You can see I'm just kind of just putting things down, trying to figure out what everything's gonna look like, moving it all to the side. This is a very large build, so it is 2 parts. I will release part 2 tomorrow. I usually don't release on Saturdays, but I don't like splitting up part 1 and part 2, because I don't want to have to make you guys wait the whole weekend. So part 2 will be released tomorrow. That's not to say that I'm gonna start making videos on Saturdays. I'm still gonna just do 5 days a week. I need my weekends, you guys. So this is probably gonna be a one-time slash like rare occasion thing. But part 2 will be up tomorrow. So part 1 is the exterior and then part 2 is the interior. It's interesting because part 1 is a lot longer than part 2. I did spend a lot more time on the exterior of this build. And I think I did that just because, because it's so gardening and plant-based, I wanted to focus a lot on the outdoor aspect, a lot on the plants on the outside, a lot on the just general like greenery on the outside. But here I'm just setting up the main building. This is a relatively small school. I should say, by the way, that I saw this more as like a university for adults, it's not for children, it's for young adults to adults, It's just kind of like a very specific Selvadoradian university. I don't know, this is a really like weird concept build for me because I was just like, what if there was like a university in Selvadorada and it like specializes in rare plants and it's like in the middle of the jungle. I don't know, I just feel like it's pretty high concept. But anyways, I'm just adjusting my walls here, which is like the border of the school. How do I explain this? The lot of the school is really big, but the actual part of the school where students will be and students will like take classes and stuff is relatively small. There's only really like this small size main building and then like 2 other smaller size buildings, which you'll see later on. But most of the time that the students will spend will be out with the plants, probably even like in the jungle, like not even on this lot, but also just studying the plants on this lot. So it's like a small to medium-sized school, and because it's such a specialty, like studying rare plants and botany, I feel like they wouldn't have like a lot of students anyways, so the student population is probably pretty low. But here I'm just trying to figure out, what I'm doing. I kind of was like majorly winging this. I just didn't like really know what direction I was going in. I've never like seen a botany school. I know that they probably exist, right? Like I should have like Googled this, but I haven't. I'm sure that I know people study agriculture, and I'm sure that people probably study plants in a particular way, probably not this way, because like, I don't know, I just feel like this is a little unrealistic, but I feel like in real life, people probably study rare plants in some particular way. But what was I saying? I don't know. I'm just setting up the building here. This little area here I really like. You'll see it ends up being like this little outdoor-indoor space. I'm just setting it up here right now. I put this like little pond in it, and then I put like plants in the middle, and it turns out to be like this really beautiful space. but you'll see that in a second. You can see I'm just like randomly jumping around, just putting random architecture stuff like everywhere, which is normal for me. You guys know I jump around a lot. I tend to just go wherever the wind takes me, wherever my mind is like, oh, you should do this, and I'm like, yes, I should, and then I jump across the lot and do something totally random. Just the way my brain works, I don't know. I did put a fountain at first. I do end up changing this to a pool, and that's not because I wanted it to be a pool. Like, I don't want people to swim in it. It's supposed to be more like a pond/fountain, but I tend to choose pools over fountains just because you can change the water on pools, but you can't change the water on fountains, which is frustrating, and I don't know why that is, but you know, it is what it is. It's The Sims, you know, whatever. So this is a pool, and then I changed the water to this really cool green color, which I totally love. You can see me putting in lily pads here. I do end up changing the structure of this just because I thought that this alone was a little bit boring. So let's see, what am I doing here? Here I'm just trying to figure out how to make it more interesting. I thought about putting in like plants on the sides, and that was cool, but not really the vibe I was going for. So I end up doing this, where there's like a little center of land in the middle, and then surrounded by this the same kind of like pool green water. And then I'm gonna put plants in the center here. And then because the rooftop's open, the tree can jut out the top, which I thought was a really cool little detail. I really like this tree, like the color of it. I think it's so beautiful. And it really goes well with the water, I think. But I'm putting in plants here. My color palette for this build is kind of like, how do I describe it? It's like beige, brown, white, a lot of green, and then like orangey reds. Yeah, it's an interesting color palette. You'll see as we go along. But isn't this so pretty with like the flowers in the middle? It's like a very peaceful area, I feel like. But basically this is just like a general little area. There's gonna be 2 rooms that branch off the sides of this area, and they're gonna be like office spaces for faculty. So this is more like a faculty area, but like students can also be here and like wait in this area while they're like waiting to meet with faculty. Put some tile in here, and then I'm gonna put these like open windows around the area. By open I mean like there's no glass, it's just like concrete little brick shapes like this. You guys can see what's going on here. And I chose these windows just because I wanted this space because it's so beautiful with the indoor fountain and stuff. I wanted it to be a space that feels like you're kind of outdoors, so I wanted like that natural breeze coming through these window blocks. And then that little square right there, that's gonna be one office, and then there's gonna be another office back here, which I think is what I'm gonna do in a sec, maybe? I don't know. Oh, I'm expanding this office, and then gonna put a little office over here. So the bigger office is gonna be like the general staff office, and then the smaller office is gonna be like the dean's office. Adjusting my roofing here. Wow, this build is so complex. Let's see, am I putting in windows or something? I don't know. I'm just jumping around all over, as always. Just putting in beams, little lights. This area is so pretty. It's like, this is probably my favorite area of the build, is that little courtyard with the plants. Putting in a little entryway there so it can be accessed, and then we are gonna put in, let's see, more little, what are they called, arches over here. Because like I use a lot of arches instead of doors because I just wanted in general the space to feel very airy and flowing and just having a lot of inside-outside feelings, if that makes sense. I'm gonna section off some spaces here. This is where we're gonna have some plants. I do change this layout just a little bit. I changed where the sectioning is. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not explaining this well. I shouldn't explain these things because like it's better seen than said. But you can see putting in some trees here, and then I'm gonna change off this sectioning with the fence. Like by which I mean I'm like expanding the tree area in a sec. Let's see. What am I doing? Yeah, here. See, I'm expanding it and making it bigger. And it kind of looks like the path on the left is cut off from the path on the right, but you'll see it goes all the way around to the back. So it is all connected. It's not like you can get stuck in a particular place and can't go anywhere. Like it's all connected. I made sure there's always like paths. But here I am putting in some windows. I went with these windows from the Jungle Adventure Pack, I believe. They're really cool windows. I like the little bar they have in front of them. And then I put this this really big archway over the middle here, or like the entrance. And I did this because I thought it was like a very cool way to just like enter the location so people can easily spot it. And it can be like a very identifiable entrance. Because a lot of universities and schools, when you enter, like they usually have like a big archway or like a big sign or something like that. So this is kind of my version of that. I wanted to hang a sign off the front. And you'll see me looking for that in a sec. I just really couldn't find a sign that I wanted. That like, I don't know, I just didn't have like the custom content or just any content that made the sign look the way I wanted it to. So there's gonna be no sign. It's just gonna look like this. But I thought that was fine. You know, it's still an archway. I was thinking maybe like possibly another explanation for the way the school works is that like there's a general like large university in Selvadorada, and this is just like one particular school that they have, like the specific botany school, but then they also probably have like I don't know, like a medicine school or a psychology department, you know, like they have like other things, and this is just like one campus location. That was just another thought that I had. But here I'm just like looking for the signs that I could put up, and I end up finding no signs, so this was a total waste of time. But you know, it's good to try things and to experiment. But I am, let's see, still looking for signs here because I really wanted a sign, but I just couldn't make it work. It's okay. Sometimes we have good ideas and they just don't come to fruition, but that's okay. Anyways, how are you guys doing? I feel like I should talk about something else because I'm just gonna be jumping around a lot here and I'm not gonna be able to follow what I'm doing at all. Oh, I put in this statue here because he had a shovel and I thought that was like pretty on point for like a gardening botany school, like a man with a shovel, because I feel like you have to dig a lot of things. I don't know. Anyways, I woke up like very shortly before recording this, so if I sound tired, that is why. It is because I am tired. But like I'm always tired. Like I don't know. I have trouble sleeping sometimes. I don't know why, because it's like there's nothing happening with me. I just like sometimes I just can't fall asleep very well, and then when I wake up, it's because like my cat freaking wakes me up at like 6 a.m. So I'm just like I'm just like groggy all the time because of my cat, honestly, and because it's hard for me to fall asleep sometimes. So I don't know. It's my lot in life. I don't know what to do about it. Let me know if you guys have any sleep tips. Like, I heard that, like, counting sheep actually, like, genuinely helps. So maybe I'll try counting sheep. I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. My current, like, go-to method for falling asleep is just imagining that I can teleport anywhere. This is so personal. I'll just, you know, whatever. I imagine that I can teleport anywhere in the world. And then when I'm falling asleep, I just, like, go to different places in the world and, like, walk around. And I imagine, like, I go to, like, I don't know. It's just like a weird thing I do to help me fall asleep. It's just imagining like traveling and walking around the world. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work, but it's like my go-to falling asleep thing. Let me know what your go-to falling asleep thing is. I bet everyone's gonna be like, oh, counting sheep, you're weird. And I'll be like, yeah. But anyways, I'm just setting up the second floor here. I don't know why I talked about that. That was totally off topic. I'm gonna end up getting rid of some of these windows just because it's a little bit crowded right now. I mean, it looks fine, I just felt like it was a little bit too much, so I do end up getting rid of those windows that are over the slanted roofs. But I do that a lot later, so don't worry about that right now. And then I make this whole wall like a flower wall, which I thought was really pretty and cool, and it could be a place where students could, like, you know, take their graduation photos and stuff, because it's such like a pretty thing. I love flower walls. I think they're so cool. And then let's see. What am I doing? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I never know what I'm doing. I put these like little slats underneath the flowers to like indicate that they were like grown onto these slats, not just like grown right onto the brick wall. Because when you grow plants like vertically, they have to like attach to something like a pole or something, unless it's a tree. Anyways, yeah, I'm putting in my roof here. And then this little area here, this rooftop where the tree juts out, this is going to be accessible to students. And the reason for this is I figured maybe they study the top of this tree. Like maybe they take like leaf clipping samples. I don't know anything about botany. I'm just like assuming that this is shit they do. Like maybe they take leaf clipping samples or like study the leaves at the top of the tree and like compare it to like the leaves at the bottom of the tree. I don't know. it's just, I thought it'd be cool if it could be accessible to students. And then they can come out here. You'll see me do right here. I'm gonna put some like mesh doors, mesh windows here. And again, I chose the mesh because the whole like indoor outdoor idea, like that there'd be a lot of breeze and a lot of feeling like you're connected to the outdoors. So I went with those mesh windows and doors. And then I'm gonna put some tile up there too. Let's see, what am I doing? I don't know. I'll talk about something else, I guess, because I'm just like going around putting stuff randomly everywhere. Please check out the Discord. It'll be linked down below. I do really want you guys to talk to me and be my friend. That would be really nice. And let me know what you guys are up to. What are your weekend plans? Because it's Friday. So what are you guys gonna do this weekend? I might go thrifting, to be honest. That might be one thing that I do, depending on, I don't know if it ends up happening or not. I'm a big thrifter. I freaking love thrifting. Highly suggest it. It's very fun to do, and it's very cheap if you're doing it right. And it's, I don't know, just, it's fun. I like fashion a lot. I'm a very big fashion person. So for me, thrifting is like a really nice way to indulge that fashion desire without having to spend a lot of money, because I don't have a lot of money. As I have mentioned many times in my videos, I do not have a lot of money. But that's okay. I can live vicariously in The Sims. I can dress my Sims in like, you know, Prada custom content. I can build them these grand houses, and it's like my escapism. You know, maybe I'll do like a Sim self build, and then I'll just like live out my wildest dreams in The Sims with my Sim self. And I'll dress her up in like ball gowns and stuff. Yeah, that's what I'll do. If I could wear ball gowns every day and dress like a freaking princess, I would. That'd be so fun to just pretend I'm like a freaking princess. I don't know. I'd love to have like a tiara, I feel like. I had a tiara when I was a kid because I was that type of kid who had a tiara. In other words, I was like a brat. I was such a brat when I was a kid. But I miss that tiara. I miss wearing a tiara. I feel like everyone looks good in a tiara, like literally everyone. So anyways, that has nothing to do with anything, totally off topic. My brain is totally fried because I'm very freaking tired. So I am just honestly ranting about anything right now. I'm building this huge courtyard in the back. This is gonna just be, like I said, just a general courtyard. And I'm gonna start doing all my greenery stuff here. I think the reason that I'm narrating about like other stuff that's not this build is because it's kind of hard for me to describe and talk about this greenery that I'm doing, because I'm gonna be doing a lot of this greenery. Because I can't really describe, you know, what my thought process is, because my thought process is really just, ooh, plant, pretty plant, go here. That's like my brain all the time when I'm doing plans. You can see I'm very sporadic with it. I feel like a real, greensman or whatever, I don't know what you're called, people who like do plant arrange, greensmen, or is that what they're called? I don't know, green guys, I don't know, people who arrange plants like this in real life for like outdoor spaces. I feel like they wouldn't like this. I feel like this is probably not a good example of green work because I just really put it randomly down, and I feel like a lot of green work I've seen in real life is like very planned out and methodical and has like very specific purpose, but I just put it down wherever it looks pretty. So it ends up kind of looking like a giant amalgamated mess of just random, like if like Mother Nature just vomited into the plot, that's what this green area looks like. But I like it. It's like my personal style of greenery. I think it's cool. So you'll see this everywhere. It's just where I'm just putting plants down randomly. And this place ends up being very, very green. I do put plants like literally everywhere that I can. Yeah, I put that little thing on the roof just because I wanted a roof detail, because I felt like the roof was a little bit lacking, a little bit plain. So I do put that little thing there. I don't know if like you're supposed to add like a fence or a lining around it, or if it's just supposed to be that random little thing on the roof. I don't know. I just left it there because I thought it was cute. And again, my method of just randomly putting down plants, throwing up my greenery here. Yeah. Let's see, what am I doing? Anyone see any good movies lately? Let me know. I recently watched, what is it called? Tigers Are Not Afraid. It's this, It's a Spanish, it's a movie in Spanish. It's a horror movie. It's like fantasy Spanish, or fantasy horror, I would say, where it's like, I don't know. It's like there's a lot of, it's kind of like if you guys ever seen Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth. It's kind of in that sense where it's like a child's fantasy world, like a lot of magic realism that no one else can see, but with a lot more horror elements and a lot more dramatic realism, because it's about these kids trying to kill this gang member. It's like a whole, I can't really explain the plot. You guys have to watch it. It was very good. It was recommended to me by TikTok, as a lot of movies tend to be, but I actually really enjoyed it, and I highly suggest watching it. I watched it on, I believe I watched it on Amazon Prime, but I think I had to pay for it. Or I think there's another version where you can like get it free for like a 7-day trial or something. I don't know. Check it out if you guys are interested in horror or, you know, foreign films. I definitely recommend. But let me know if you guys have any recommendations for me, any movies that you think that I should watch, because I love watching films. I'm a huge film buff, so definitely recommend. The next movie on my list currently is the remake of Suspiria. I've seen the original one, that was in the 70s, I believe, and I really did like the original one. And I kind of lied there. I have seen the new one, but I saw it a long time ago, and I don't remember that much about it, so I do want to rewatch it. So you guys should rewatch it too. We can all rewatch it together and be Suspiria friends, I guess. I don't know. But let's see here, and that's another reason to join the Discord, because we can talk about movies more, because I was talking about this with some people on the Discord the other day. It's horror movies, and I'd love to hear your guys' input on it, and maybe we can figure out a way to stream a movie together. That'd be so cool. Oh my god, I don't know how to do that, but I've heard of people streaming movies together using Discord, and that'd be so cool if we could do that. Okay, maybe we'll do that. I'll figure that out. I'll get back to you on that. Anyways, back to the build, which has nothing to do with what I was talking about, because I don't know, because my brain. I am building this little place here. This is gonna end up being kind of like, this little house here is gonna end up being, how do I explain it? It's like an indoor, you know, I'm not gonna explain it. You guys, it's like a greenhouse, you know? I don't know. You guys will see more in detail tomorrow when I'll release the interior of this build. And like I said, the exterior build is a lot longer than the interior of this build. So tomorrow's video will be relatively short. Well, it won't be short, but it'll be shorter than this. And the reason for that is just, you'll see, I kind of, like I said before, part of the reason of that is because I spent so much time working on the greenery on the outside and making the outside seem very lush and detailed and stuff. And the inside, I kind of go in a different direction. In contrast, I wanted to go with something that was a little bit more not as intense as all this greenery on the outside. Because I wanted all the focus to be on the greenery on the outside, the way the inside ends up being is a lot more, I guess like you could say muted. It's a lot more calm, a lot more, you know what, I can't really describe it. Just check out the video tomorrow and you'll see what I mean. It's just, I just put a lot more focus into the outside, I think. But still check out the video tomorrow because you can get an idea of what I was going for with the interior of this. Anyway, regardless, over here I'm setting up another little greenery area. This is where that they can study these rare, quote-unquote rare plants, plants that I imagined would be rare. Like this one, I don't know what this is. It looks pretty cool, this plant. Like look at those like orange spots. Like I wonder if those are like supposed to be like fruit or if that's like the set, like a nut or something. I don't know. That's a really cool tree. And then I'm just setting down other trees that look pretty interesting in the back for later use. So this big area here where I'm putting in dirt, this is going to be like another place where students can come out and study these plants more in detail. So you can see it's connected by that door outside the side of the main building, or that building. And then I'm going to add in a little path here that leads up to that big tree where they're going to study that tree. And then what I end up doing is, are you guys ready for some rock placement? Because you guys are about to see some frickin' rock placement. Because you guys know I love placing rocks. So here's my rock placement. I'm just doing this to close off the path, and then around this path is going to be a lot more greenery. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Look at me placing these rocks. Do you want me to talk about my rock placing method? It's just, you know, putting it down where it looks best. That's my rock placing method. I don't know. I like using rock placement for paths. I just feel like it adds like more of a natural touch than fencing. I mean, that's just me. But did you guys see that we're almost at 200 subscribers? I'm like, wow. Like, this moves so fast. Like, I'm so freaking I mean, we're not there yet, so maybe we won't get there. But like, I don't know. I'm just like really surprised by it. And I just wanted to mention it. When we do hit 200 subscribers, there will be a celebration. There will be a video of joy. You know, maybe I'll do a 200 babies challenge. I've never done the 100 babies challenge. It's a very popular challenge. I know that. I've just never done it because it seems like so much and just a lot in general. So I don't even know if I could do 200 babies challenge, but let me know. What would you guys like to see if we do end up hitting 200? What would you like to see in celebration of that? It could be anything. It doesn't even have to be like 200 related, although that'd be easier for me because then I can make the title a lot easier. But let me know if you guys have any ideas for that or anything that you would like to see. Maybe I'll give away like 200 copies of The Sims. I can't afford that, but imagine if I could. Wouldn't that be so great? Anyways, I'm just setting up this little area over here. I really end up liking how this looks with all these plants because I went for like different kind of plant layouts along this area. But yeah, anyways, over here I'm putting in a desk where students slash teachers slash researchers can like sit and study these plants and take like clippings of them and all that fun stuff that botanists do, I think, maybe. I don't know. Putting in these little pots here where they would put like little clippings or just like little, I don't know, little study samples or something. Watering can, because they gotta water their plants. Wheelbarrow back there that's gonna be carrying some fertilizer, you'll see in a second. And then let's see, what am I doing? Oh, those are mandrakes. I just liked how they look there because they look like roots, like they were studying the roots of this plant maybe. And then I put little things in the pots there too, like they were taking clippings or something like that. Putting in my fertilizer in the wheelbarrow because they gotta fertilize these plants. And then I'm gonna put in, let's see. Am I done with that area? Not quite sure. Oh, lights. Putting the lighting over here so students can see where they are going at night. And then gonna put in some tables, I believe, over here, like picnic tables, yeah. Just so that there's a space where people can sit down and chill on the outside. Because like I said, I wanted this space to seem like a lot of it, or a lot of the students and people who work and are here, would just spend a lot of time outside. That being said, it's probably very hot here, and I feel like maybe that would hinder their desire to hang out outside, or maybe not. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I don't know what climate this is. But I just feel like in general people would just want to be outside here. Yeah. Anyways, putting in, let's see, trash cans over here. You're gonna see a lot of trash cans and recycling bins because obviously this place is very eco-minded and keeping nature clean and keeping the area nice and stuff like that. So you're gonna see a lot of trash cans there because I don't want people littering. This is so beautiful. Who would litter here? Like, if you litter around these trees, you're like such a bad person. No, I mean, like, yeah. I mean, just don't litter in general, but like this area especially because it's so beautiful. Yeah. Anyways, putting in, let's see, more little walls to separate off my areas. You'll see I end up putting in like, I mean, you'll see this in a minute or in a few minutes, but I do end up building like a little area where there's like some bee boxes because I figured that they would like probably have bees here to like pollinate all these pretty things. So you'll see there'll be a little bee area. So if you're allergic to bees, don't come to this university because you will constantly encounter bees here. Just putting in more little greenery. As I said, a lot of greenery in this build, a lot of plant placement. I hope you guys enjoy plant placement because that is most of this video, other than my unintelligible rants that have nothing to do with this build. Anyways, what am I doing with this area? I don't quite remember what I do. Let's see. What am I doing? I'm just scrolling through, looking through stuff. I think I end up putting tables here no. Oh no, I remember. I put these plant boxes here and then I put these like vertical looking plants that I thought were really cool. Let's see. Putting in some pathing there, making it seem like students can walk in this area. I'm gonna put some, let's see, trash cans back here. obviously recycling bin, and then let's see, we're gonna put the plants in now. Let's see. I go with these plants, which I thought looked really cool. I don't know, they were just really cool. I like a lot of these plants. In this build, I used a lot of plants that I don't usually use because they're a lot more unique and rare looking. And I don't usually use them because in most of my lots, I don't want the plants to look very like out of place and rare for the environment. But in this particular environment with like this lush forest around us, I felt like it fit a lot better. And they're all from the Jungle Adventure Pack, so they all, I think, are supposed to make sense for this climate, so I thought that was nice. You can see I put some umbrella tables out there, and that was just another place where people could sit outside and eat and study and stuff like that. This is a little bee house area. I am not a beekeeper or a bee expert, so I don't know if this is realistically how this bee area would work. I mean, I'm never an expert in anything I build, so whenever I make mistakes, I apologize to any of my beekeeper friends if this is incorrect. So, put a little desk here for them to study the bees or like take bee samples or something like that, I don't know. And I wish I had like bee suit CC so I could like put a bee suit down to like imply that people were putting on bee suits, but I just didn't have one. This building here is gonna end up being kind of like a lounge or like a study lounge in general. So it's just like a general student area. Gonna put in, let's see, figuring out my fencing here. What am I doing? I'm gonna move back this fence to cover the fence that jutted out the back. And then let's see, what am I doing? What am I doing? I don't know. Roofing now. Gonna put in some roof. Gonna put in some, let's see. Yeah, I'm just jumping around a lot. Like I always do. Putting in more roofing. You guys know that roofing is vital. I feel like this area would probably have a lot of rainfall, right? Like, isn't that, like, aren't jungles like this, they have, like, a large amount of rainfall, and that's why everything's so very green and luscious, and that's why there's so many plants, is because, like, the high level of rainfall. Like, doesn't, like, that's why it's called the rainforest, right? Because the rainforest has, like, an intense amount of rainfall every year. So realizing that, maybe there'd be parts of the year when people like couldn't go outside and all these outdoor spaces would be rendered obsolete since there'd be like an intense amount of rainfall. But you know, it's fine. It looks cool. I like it. And maybe not. Maybe in this Sims world there's not a lot of rainfall. I don't know. I don't think I've visited this world that much in my game. So I don't know if they've like put in the code that this place has a particular larger amount of rainfall than the other worlds usually would have. That'd be cool if they did that to like recognize the climate. But I don't know. Putting in more plants, obviously, because all this place is plants. It's like a place that studies plants, so obviously there's gonna be a lot of plants. Little flowers. Let's see, more little flowers. Yeah. I applaud anyone who is still listening to my narration. I feel like at a certain point people probably just mute me because I just rant about nothing at all. If you're still listening, here's a little fun little game. If you're still listening at this point in the video where we are almost at the end and you can still hear my lovely voice, comment something like, I don't know, comment something very silly. I don't know, we should have like a code word, like a booyah or something. If you're still listening here, comment booyah and I'll know that you made it very close to the end. Yeah. But if you don't, no worries, it's okay, I understand. I put these little desks around the tree because I actually ended up swapping these out for these like flower desks, because I figured this is another area where students like outdoors do work. Maybe this is where they like, I don't know, prune the tree? Is that the right word? Where they like clip the tree or stuff? I don't know. And maybe this is also like just really like a flower arranging station and they learn like flower stuff here or they study flowers here or something like that. I feel like in real life, a botany school like that or like a gardening school would probably have more science involved, probably more science classes and more scientific spaces to like study. I mean, I'm just guessing right now, but I feel like they probably have to study plants more, having to do with like chemicals and biology more than just like plant arrangement. I don't know. But I went more in the plant arrangement direction, the plant clipping direction. So there's not going to be a lot of science here, unfortunately, for all my science fans. I mean, I'm a fan of science, but for all my fans of like science builds, there's not going to be a lot of that. But I mean, it still works. I like it. I like it being very based in just looking at the trees and taking notes on the trees. I feel like that's a very nice way to study plants. We're almost done here. What are we doing now? Putting in some more terrain paint. Just kind of extending those paths in the front. And then we're just going to put in trees and other plants in the surrounding area just to make this lot like just blend in more with the surrounding forest. And to just bring in some of our green tone to the surrounding jungle just to, again, make the blend a little bit easier. Putting in some potted plants here, just randomly, I guess, for more greenery's sake. More little potted plants. Another little potted plant. Let's see. What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, I put this little thing inside there, and we're gonna deal with that later on when we move inside in the next video. And then, let's see, more greenery. I'm pretty sure the rest of the video is just me putting plants around the edges. Let's see. I think. I never know what's gonna happen when I'm scrolling through the debug menu because I can pull out anything because I literally scroll through it for hours, for a long time, just looking for stuff that I like. See little trees putting around the corner, bringing in some interesting colors around here. I really like the color palette of this lot. It's really cool, I think. Not a color palette that I've used very often. I tend to I tend to stay away from bright oranges and bright reds just because I find them very intimidating and kind of hard to work with sometimes in the sense of finding like things that go with it. But I feel like it ends up working out pretty well here, actually. I don't know. But we are almost about done here in like a few seconds. Putting in more little bushes on the bottom. Again, this is for blending purposes to make the lot seem more a part of the surrounding area. Terrain paint with dirt. And then I think we're almost done. Please be almost done, I'm so tired. Yay, we're done. Okay, cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Robin, I really hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for the suggestion because I really went off with this and it was really fun for me to do, so really cool suggestion from you. Part 2 will be released tomorrow. Yes, I do meet on Saturday, even though I don't usually release on Saturdays, but I didn't want to split it up for you guys, so it will be out tomorrow. And maybe there'll be a video on Sunday, probably not. I don't want to make any promises, so I shouldn't have said that. But because it is school week, I have seen other school suggestions from you guys, and I don't want to leave anybody out, so I might be doing those, and maybe we'll just extend school week just a little bit, just for you guys. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.